then there really wasn't an opportunity for you to go to college. Well, that's simply not true, because if your interest is in rebuilding auto bodies and you want to own your own auto body business, you really need to go to college and take general business classes in finance and accounting and human resources courses so that you can run a successful auto body shop in the future. So I think it's important for parents to not think about these kinds of career tech programs as separate and apart from college opportunities, but maybe these two things really can be blended in a way that is a little more economical for families. So as an example, if a child is interested, let's take culinary arts as an example. They can go to a local vocational school and learn about culinary arts, practice their cooking on their family, maybe volunteer to do cooking for a local service organization, transfer to a 2-year community college to get a few electives under their belt at a much lower cost than if they went directly to a 4-year college, all the while kind of experimenting with this interest and talent to see if they really do want to pursue a 4-year college degree. And I think that would actually make that student so much more competitive, because not only have they developed an interest or perhaps even a hobby into an interest and a vocation and a talent, but they're demonstrating to colleges that they've made a real commitment. They've actually gotten on-the-ground experience in the area that they'd like to pursue in their 4-year degree.
I think it is so important, and for any of our listeners who are kind of wondering, gee, how important is community service? I think it was at Capilano High School, I talked to a parent who said that one of the admissions advisors from UC Berkeley was out there last week or the week before, and he just said, I can't remember the number, I want to say 6,000 students were applying for freshman positions, and he said, we just are overwhelmed, and it's not, he said, it's great, but the personal statement, the community service, when you look at your neighbors and say, well, how come I had higher marks and he ended up getting in? It is what the colleges realize is the successful people that are getting jobs and they're helping to bring up the reputation of the college are the ones that are involved in all these programs. So it's not just about the academics side of it. It's really is important to get involved in these types of programs, and also the sports activities, also all this team building type thing. I love the Habitat for Humanity idea of building houses. I think it's just great. Now, how about scholarships I guess, are there any other types of scholarships, or what's kind of out there for programs that maybe people haven't heard of that you might be familiar with? And maybe it's not even a scholarship, but it's a program that people are like, well, I'm not really interested in music. I don't know if I want drama. I don't know that I want to help serve food at the local community kitchen. What kind of examples can you give me of kind of community areas that kids can get involved in?
Yeah. Oh, well, I beginning in about junior or senior year of high school, I would recommend that students and their parents look into AmeriCorps, which is an opportunity that allows young people, usually from about 18 to 24 years of age, to give a year or more of service to their country. And they can do that locally, perhaps in their own community, or on an expanded level, maybe by moving from community to work on a particular area of interest to them. So, for example, if somebody is interested in homelessness or poverty, or somebody is thinking about becoming a teacher, they can participate through AmeriCorps programs to learn skills that are required to help people in their community, or to become a teacher, for example. And at the end of their stint with AmeriCorps, could actually be eligible for a college scholarship. So during this time of giving community service and learning skills, important skills, while they're on the ground, they're also, the time they're spending is earning them the potential to receive a college scholarship to go on and pursue those interests.
So how does the AmeriCorps work? Is it a go away and live somewhere else, and it's a full-time program for 3 months, 6 months? How does that work?
It can be a go away and experience this wonderful opportunity kind of arrangement, or it could be something that the student does locally. And AmeriCorps is very flexible in working with young people they certainly have a set of interests and social needs that they want to address, but they're also working very hard to make sure that whatever that student is interested in is in alignment with the community service project that they assign them to.
So and for the AmeriCorps, is it just do you need to be a high school graduate to participate? How does it work? Or is that something you can also do while you're in high school?
It typically is for 18 and older, but I think the important thing is to start looking at it when the student's about a junior, or maybe at the beginning of senior year, particularly if their interest might take them away from home, and that might have an impact on their college planning.
No, I think it's obviously that experience helps for getting into college. Any scholarships that can be available through the AmeriCorps or any type of program like that is incredibly valuable. And I really think the point of talking about the values of our community colleges, and that's one which we've talked about already on many of our shows, and I'm hoping to get an administrator in from one of the local community colleges soon. It is so valuable how much money you can save by starting with community college and then transferring in. And there are programs to transfer directly into a UC if that ends up being the right fit. I actually had a father call me just last week, and he said, well, what's the story with this community college? Is community college just for dummies or some silly line like that? And I said, no. This is the system. This is the one way the California system can really work for us. And you can save $50,000 or more if you think about $25,000 in a UC program. So I like to be able to share that with families. Joanne Sockolov Byrne and I have been discussing why local education foundations exist, what kind of volunteer programs are available, and how you can support your student by getting involved in the community and also getting involved in the community yourself in order to support these programs for other students that are going to better prepare them for college and really better prepare our society for the types of people that we want to have. Joanne Sockolov Byrne is the director of the RCEF, the Redwood City Education Foundation, and she's been very busy because she's running for the trustee position on the San Mateo County Board of Education in this November's elections. We wish you the best of luck and want to remind all our listeners to remember to vote. Joanne, thanks so much for taking the time to join us on College Smart Radio.
Thanks, Beatrice.
Well, that wraps up another show of College Smart Radio. We hope you picked up some new information today that helps you figure out ways to manage the runaway cost of college. You can hear us each week here on KDOW 1220 AMs at 3 p.m. We promise to bring you up-to-date information from the front lines of helping parents deal with the most expensive years of their lives. For a link to the podcast of this show and our prior weekly shows, go to our website, www.collegesmartradio.com. And in addition to the podcast, you'll find a schedule of our upcoming shows. Also, plan to join us at one of our upcoming Westface College Planning Workshops. My next public workshop will be on Saturday morning, November 3rd. With over 100,000 Bay Area students applying for college each year, our workshops are popular and we do run out of seats, so you do need to reserve your seat at the workshop. You can do so from the show's website, www.collegesmartradio.com. This is Beatrice Schultz. Thanks so much for tuning into College Smart Radio this week. We look forward to sharing more helpful information next week.
You've been listening to College Smart Radio with certified financial planner Beatrice Schultz. If you have a question on today's topic, log on to collegesmartradio.com or call area code 650-587-1517. That's 650-587-1517. Join us next week at this time for another edition of College Smart Radio on AM 1220 KDOW.